Hey there everyone, happy May. Last month I released a very short YouTube vlog update, a literal short because I really did not accomplish much last month. I hinted at it, but it wasn't actually released until this month. My very first video essay, The Emperor's High Score. It's actually a video version of a keynote speech that I gave at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. I was very happy to present there and also to review the showcase of student projects. It was incredibly grateful for the experience. They had asked me if I had anything I'd like to talk about in the terms of like the subject of like game development and game design, and I told them that I'd been on this spree about the oppression of metrics, and they okayed it. I was really happy about it. So it took me like pretty much the whole month to put together that presentation, and a little bit more actually, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I know it's not super flashy as far as like video essays go, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the points that I made in it. There's a lot of little things that I wasn't able to fit into the presentation just because I was trying to keep it confined to like 30 minutes and the scope of the projects. Things like why I'm not super satisfied with cooperative games, and also like ways to address hierarchical ranking in equipment, and that small scale stuff, and also how meta motivations like in legacy games. If you want to hear more about these sorts of things, maybe give me a message here or on Discord or something and let me know. This kind of stuff takes a lot of energy, and it's not usually my wheelhouse. It doesn't come naturally to me, so I want to make sure that I'm engaging in a conversation if I like do something like this again, you know. There was also another thing that I recorded last month, which was a new guided prototyping session for Screen Top for normal human golf. It's great because we got to go over some of the newer stuff and some of the changes to Screen Top since the last video. Things like how you could put stuff in your hand and the limitations of that. But moreover, we got to do like hex grids, and we got to do some really complicated stuff in it, like connecting containers of the same type. So maybe check it out. Yeah. In terms of design, I got a lot of work done for Bread. My friend Matthew Hawker of Coup Games has really taken a liking to it, and has been testing it a whole lot with his group and giving me a lot of really valuable feedback, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. So since the last time I had brought it to like testing, I decided that I needed bigger reference cards, and so found out that I could actually use tarot cards, and it would cost about the same as using like a standard deck of cards, given how many I need and stuff like that. So I like that because then they're more postcard size. Somebody had joked that I should make the postcard cards actual postcard size, and well, I'm doing it. And what's great about this is that the reference sheet is like big, and I'm able to fit like all the important details on it. Like pretty much like the rule, like the important rules of the game are all on that reference card, and even the setup is like on the postcards. Like with the postcards being so big, I'm able to give like detailed, like base specific setup instructions, and I think that's awesome. It's I'm happy with it. I'm working on the rulebook now, getting a lot of feedback from Matthew, and also a slight change. We're changing like the harbinger mechanics, like when the event is revealed. We're going to simplify it. We're just going to make it so that whoever revealed it plays it to somebody. Sometimes you implement a fix for like a problem, and somewhere down the line you implemented something else that addressed the same problem, and you don't need that hack anymore, but you just keep using the hack because you're just used to it, right? You're falling into this routine of leaning on this hack that it just is not relevant anymore. When I added the displace action to the unrest, it introduced this balancing element where you didn't really want a player to have a ton of unrest because it gave a lot of direct power to like steal cards and stuff like that. Or if you were given a bunch of unrest, then you had the power to like directly steal and climb out of that like bad situation, potentially. Usually it's not gonna work, but I had implemented the harbinger mechanic to sort of balance the unrest distribution before that action was introduced, and so it needed to be more controlled how fire got distributed. But now I think it's fine to just lean on displace as the balancing factor in this case, and it would streamline that interaction like way better. So I'm quite happy with that. Let's see. So a game that you probably haven't heard about in a while is Unraveled. It's no longer being externally developed. Long story short, it didn't exactly work out. But I did get closure, and now it's back in my court. And I have some ideas that, like, since I've been sleeping on it for so long, I have a lot of ideas of things that I want to do with it. A lot of the card effects didn't really get used very much, and I think well, like one part of it is that the game already takes up so much mental real estate that you don't really engage with those effects. And the hope with the development was that I would like fine-tune that stuff, but in retrospect I think like it also just wasn't interesting. What I want to do is I want to play with the loyalties of the sleuths a lot more, because right now there's not really a huge incentive to deduce somebody's like identity or who's an ally. You kind of want to play the same way no matter what, but I wanted to give some options to like mess with players. Like I've been playing with the idea of like a distract action, where if you could guess a player's loyalty is tied to a piece of evidence, then you could like basically delay them from acting. So if you think somebody's like messing with an investigation, you could be like, okay, well, I think this is why I'm blackmailing you or something, or causing a distraction, and force the player to just go hands off for a minute. It's just, I'm trying to figure out the best way to execute this that doesn't add a whole load onto the already heavy mental load that people have trying to solve this logic puzzle. So yeah, I'm playing with it still. I'm playing with it. My focus is still primarily on developing bread and conviction, because I feel like those two are so close. Speaking of, I got feedback from Geek Way to the West. I had submitted conviction into that contest, and like I think this is the most most unguided feedback I've ever received all at one time from like real players. I'm super happy for it. Less happy that people found it very confusing, which does not really surprise me. I need to figure out a way to make that game really clean and clear, and I don't know how to do that. I'm working on it. It's, in case you haven't noticed, development is not exactly a strong suit for me, and that's the kind of space I'm stuck in for like almost all of my projects. If you have any ideas or suggestions on how I could develop these things, or people I could contract to, because I just got burned, okay? I was just burned with an external contractor for development. So if you have any suggestions or recommendations, I'm all ears, because I want to get these projects out the door, and I am not super suited for the development stuff. But I'm going to keep trying my hardest. But yeah. Yeah. So that's it. In terms of what's coming up, I have done a couple conversations with some people. I don't really want to spoil it, because this stuff is on their terms, and maybe they decide they didn't like what I said and decide can it. Who knows? I thought the conversations went well, to be clear, but yeah, you'll just have to be surprised, okay? Well, some of you, most of you who are in my Discord already know what I'm talking about, but yeah, all right. Catch you later. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye. I really like this lapel mic just because the Bluetooth one, I ear need it in my face or it was just not going to be super good. It's such a big, pretty mic. It looks so, like, look at this thing. It looks so, like, looks serious, right? You feel like this would be, like, perfect audio, but I bet that sounded horrible. Wait, oh no, that's not the mic. Ah, yeah. Hey.